Welcome to Sean Anthony Live, and joining me next, all the way from the ATL, we got FABO from D4L. FABO, what's up, man?
What's happening with you, brother?
What's happening, man?
What's happening, man?
Man, it's been a long journey, man. Like I was telling you before we started recording, man, I first met you when the album first dropped.
Yeah.
And you guys had crazy success, man. I want to talk about a lot of different things, but let's talk about the backstory, man.
Yeah.
How did you get in the group D4L? How did you come in contact with Shawty Lo?
Wow, I was already a part of the music scene. I was, like I was telling you earlier, I was in a group with Young Dro, and we was on the same label that Drummer was on, you know, with the Left, Right, Left. So everybody knew it was like a whole little squad over there. And Drummer went to jail for some random stuff, and Raheem started focusing, Raheem the Dream, which was the label on at the time. He had me and Young Dro on the bench or whatever. And after that situation didn't work out, I ended up back in Bankhead, back on the block, you know, doing the same stuff, but I started going to the club with the name that I had, you know, and the recognition that I was already getting or whatever. You know, I started battling Shawty Lo groups and stuff that he was putting up there. And it was tough, you know, against me.
Okay.
And so Lo, you know, we started going to play basketball and stuff together. He started coming pick me. And you got to understand, like, Lo been Low, R.I.P. Shouted, R.I.P. Shouted. Everybody hold their L's up. You know, he been shouted since I was in high school.
Okay.
So he used to throw like these basketball games and stuff in the hood. And whereas you might be beefing with this hood, Shouted would have that, you know, down on the court. So everybody, you know, had respect for each other. So that was, you know, probably one of the reasons why that group was able to connect, you know, the way we was, because we're from 5 different hoods.
Oh, okay. And, was there tension?
It was always tension. It was always tension because, you know, everybody done lost somebody, you know,
but
on
Shawty
every
Lo
side.
made sure that
Shawty Lo he was Godfather. He just didn't do that
Let's talk about that a little bit more, because that was one of my questions that I wanted to ask you, man. Talk about Shawty Lo's his legacy, the impact that he had on Atlanta before D4L. Like you said, he was an OG when you was in high school, right?
Before D4L. Like,
before D4L,
I mean,
Shawty Lo.
like I said, when I was in high school, I was in the band, and we used to practice outside. And I already knew him from, you know, seeing him in Hollywood Coast, seeing him in Perry Home every now and then or whatever, because I'm from Perry Home, they from Boyne Home. And Shawty would pull up and just listen to the band play, you know, he'd sit out there, he'd be on, you know, doing his thing or whatever, and start getting stuff from the ice cream truck, you know, whatever you needed and all that. I don't know whether he was in the neighborhood across the street or whatever, but he was just that type of cat. And as I got older and started playing in the basketball tournaments and stuff like that or whatever, he'll come pick me up. You know, let's go play this neighborhood. And Shawty was a beast. Shawty might have been about 5'9", 5'10", but you know, don't let that fool you. He had a one-punch knockout, and he had to run the point. And so we basically fought everywhere we went.
Oh, y'all was fighting.
We was like, Shawty, he like to pass the ball, and if he go up and he don't hit the shot, it's a foul. And so, you know, that led to us, you know, me moving in one of the spots that he had or whatever, which was a car wash, and that's where it started. We had put out one CD. I don't know if y'all know it was a CD before that CD. You see what I'm saying?
No, I didn't.
We had a single called Ride Roll, and everybody went to jail. So I was in jail, but we already had the Scotty, we already had the Laffy Taffy and all of that. And it was
so y'all already recorded
we had already recorded this music, but we all was in jail.
When you were in jail, was Laffy Taffy bubbling in the city of Atlanta?
When I was in jail, Bet You Can't Do It Like Me was bubbling. But I already had the Scotty song, you know, for probably about a year before that. I had Laffy Taffy for about 6 months or whatever. And when we all got incarcerated, Mook B, you know, shout out to Mook B, he just started putting the little mix CDs out, and the Bet You Can't Do It Like Me caught, and I was in jail, and somebody came in there and was like, FABO, beat him, and I was like, well, where you learn that at? Or he's like, I seen that John Burr Soft Day when y'all performed, like, boy, that song blowing up on the street, and that's how I found out I was hot.
So Bet You Can't Do It Like Me blew up first, and that set it up for Laffy Taffy.
We was out for a whole year before y'all had a chance, because we was just like the hottest in Atlanta. Like, if you go back to the Jeezy, the boom, boom, clap, that was Jeezy acknowledging the dance, because the dance was so hot. And then you had, if you go to the Yin Yang's Whisper video, you can see them doing the dance, and it was already coming, but everybody didn't know. And I think where you probably first got a glimpse of the dance set and didn't think of us as a dance group, because Laffy Taffy blew up so big, was when Franchise came out. And they did the Lean With It, Rock With It. But they already had a song called White Tee. And they was already hot, and we was on the road with them, and so that's how people knew us. But when that situation didn't work out like it was supposed to, they went on the road without us, and then we felt like, okay, well, we're gonna do our thing. We seen them on what was it, 106 in Park or something.
I remember that.
It was something, and one of them asked them, you know, who came up with the dance. And at this time, we just kind of like neighborhood dudes or whatever. Nobody didn't think we was gonna make it. And like one of the dudes said, me, I did, and I was like, well, I got shot at the night I showed you the dance, so that's kind of crazy. So I walked right in the booth and went, you thieves. Wow. We D4L, and that's what you get. I bet you can't do it like me.
No wonder it sounded aggressive in the beginning of that, man. That's interesting, man.
So basically that same day, I walked right in the booth and was like, well, I bet you can't do it like me then. Like if you came up with the dance, I bet you can't do it like me.
Talk about coming up with dances, man, because that's, you know, we're in a TikTok era now. And people
crazy.
are coming up with dances all the time.
Wow.
So this whole snap dance, you created that?
Yeah, my granddaddy used to do this one dance to every song that came on. And
so homage to your grandfather.
Yeah, shout out to Willie C. Ben. But it was just like a boom, like he used to be, you know, rocking when he get drunk, like boom, boom. But when I started doing it, I just started being more creative with it. And as I started doing it, you got to think that these guys was getting good too. And so I wanted to be the best at it. And then, you know, I reinvented myself, and it got better as time went along.
Man, talk about the impact. Well, talk about the life change that you had at the success of that record. Because look, man, you know, like we were talking, I've been in radio for a long time, and certain records is a moment, you know what I'm saying, in history within our culture, and Laffy Taffy was one, you know.
It was a pretty big record.
Talk about when did your life change when that record blew up?
Wow, my life changed immediately. Like, because I was in jail when the first single was out. So when I got out, I was famous. Like, you gotta think, I go into jail, this hardened person that gets locked up in front of the studio, pulled out the award show in front of my mama and all of that. And then I gets out of jail and I'm FABO! Like, you know, everybody screaming my name and all of that. So I had to adapt real quick, like turn from this shout out thug crazy person, you know, to like, you know, this businessman who gotta really put everything in line, you know, so he can get what he's supposed to out of it. So,
were you really a thug though? I mean, hold on, that laugh.
I drove for Shawty Lo for 3 years.
Okay.
So,
so you've seen some things and done some things?
I just feel like, you know, the streets taught me a lot before this deal came or whatever. I just thank God for it, you know what I mean? And the success came real quick, man, and I had to adjust and adapt real quick, but it happened. And I just remember walking in the club, bro, when I first got out. And dude was like, come on, I want you to come to the club tonight. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about, DJ T-Rock. And I was like, yeah, I'll be up there. I'm come through. I see what's up. And so I go in the club and I see this one guy with my CDs and stuff walking around. I'm like, them my CDs, that's me. And he was like, and I got these for low, like, you know. I'm like, that's me on the CDs.
Was
like,
he bootlegging?
Yeah, no, he's selling this, like, you know, back then, you know, you just walk around with your box of CDs. And I get in the club, bro, and they played it. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun, and the whole club just like broke into the dance. Like, mind you, we ain't gave no tutorials. They only got this one video from an access station that was playing this on a loop.
Public access?
Yeah, like channel 24 or something. And it was like playing it on a loop. And so back then you didn't have anything but the box and the access channel. And so we just went, but back then it would have been what you call viral in Atlanta. And that's how the dance got out there. But Shawty Lo was incarcerated at the time. And so we ain't know nobody to talk to, nobody to whoop, and our loyalty was with Lo. And so Lo plugged us with D-Money from D-Money Entertainment. He was like, yo, this my homie. He gonna make sure y'all straight until I get out, blah, 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 blah. And it worked out great. We made the Laffy Taffy, and you know, the rest is history, bro. Like, it happened. You know?
And it changed your life forever.
It definitely changed my life.
Talk about like the business side. I'm not trying to be in your pockets or anything, but I'm just curious. Like, I was going through, I listened to the album prior to you coming here. Side note, when I first met you, when y'all came to Detroit and y'all hung out with me and my co-host on the show, the song was blowing up. It was in heavy rotation on the radio. I got your album and I took it back home and I listened to it. Back then, I was blown away. I'm like, yo, this album is hot.
It was hot.
You know what I'm saying?
It had a little bit of everything on it.
And a lot of people, you know, would be surprised because because you had so much commercial success on the Laffy Taffy joint. But talk about, you know, as far as like the ASCAP, what is it? What I'm trying to say.
The business side of it.
The business side, the writing credits. What's the word I'm looking for? Publishing.
The publishing.
The publishing. The publishing. Like, how did all of that pan out and help you out in your career?
Oh, wow. That's a crazy question for me, too, because I didn't know anything about that stuff at the time. But I'm on every song.
Right.
And I'm basically every hook, you know, in the beginning. And so that started to become an issue early on or whatever, because we didn't know anything about it or whatever. But me being who I am, even though I wrote these hooks, this, that, and the other, these my brothers, I made sure we split it up and made sure everybody was on point. But, you know, I always owned all my own music or whatever. I had a couple of deals here and there, but, you know, we recorded all this stuff right in the, you know, studio, so it ain't nobody had a chance to put us in a big studio and all that, so we literally owned all our masters.
And you did everything in-house.
From the beginning, and me, myself, personally, I was still in and out of trouble. You know what I mean? So never being able to really get it together. But when I finally got it together or whatever, the ASCAP and, you know.
BMI?
Well, I wasn't with BMI.
Okay.
The group signed with BMI, but I actually signed with ASCAP. I had a publishing deal, you know, way back in like 2007 or something like that. So that's how you get me on the Cupid Shuffle and all of these other different records, Tatted Up, because I was, you know, going around working with different artists back then as an A&R and stuff, you know, young, like definitely at a young age. So I had a chance to see that side. And once I got my publishing and everything straight back in like 2007, I think it was like a year after we came out and all of that or whatever, you know, I understood what it was like, you know, to have your copyrights and all of that stuff right there. But I didn't know that I owned that much music or whatever until I went and signed up for ASCAP and all of that. And they was
did you go back and recoup that?
I'm still recouping right now. I own, like, you know,
that's dope,
I own
man.
all my music. I wrote and I produced Scotty. Like, I did the whole entire track, you know, before Jeezy got on it. Like, that's my track. Like, these tracks that you hear on the album, I was set in the studio to 5 o'clock in the morning. I did these tracks on the beat machine, you know, and when I got locked up, they just added them to the album. So it basically, you know, once I registered, all of that stuff came to me.
That's amazing, man.
So anybody you see,
I love hearing that.
And all of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, anytime somebody play Laffy Taffy, anything, Scotty, I bet you can't do it like me or one of these songs, and you know, I get paid.
Right. But talk about the publishing, man, and how you were able to, you know, handle the business side of the industry.
I mean, you know, with a good team around you, it always comes around. I always just advise artists, you know, you got to lean on your team. You need a manager, you need a publicist, you know, you need these people that's going to push you, you know, to do great. And I always say, if your manager can put you in places that you wouldn't normally see yourself, then that's a great manager, you know. And we had one of those back at that time, Johnny Cabell. He put us in a great position to win. And when I found out about publishing and all of that, it was one of these cats that came to me and was like, yo, you got your stuff set up or whatever. And I remember sitting down doing splits and everything or whatever, but you know, at the time, you like the hood dude, you
don't know what splits is.
And I always tell people, that first contract, when people see that first contract, you know, if you're not somebody who wrote all of that music or whatever and did, you know, all of this stuff, it may not work out for you like that. But when you coming out the hood, it's like, what it say?
Right.
All right, I don't care what they say. Like, I'm out the hood, you know.
Right.
And for some people, it may work, you know, if you own all your music. But if you don't own any of your music, it's like the worst thing that you could do. You know what I mean? But probably about a year into my career, somebody stepped to me and was like, "Yo, you have all your publishing and stuff." And I was like, "What's that?" And they ran me through the ringer or whatever. I'm like, "Okay, well, you own this, you own that, you own this, you own that." And you know, it was clear to me that you know life was about to be great.
So did they? Were you ASCAP or BMI?
ASCAP.
So did they go back? You know, and recoup the money that you made prior to you signing with them?
I mean, basically, the money's there.
Right.
For any artist.
You just need to figure out how to get it.
You just need to figure out how to access that money. You know, but the money's yours. It's not going anywhere.
What about internationally?
Internationally, my international experience came maybe in 2012, 2013, when another member of my team came to me and was like, yo, they got this new program or whatever where they checking for artists' money overseas or whatever. And, you know, and I figured that situation out, it was lucrative.
Really?
Yeah, very lucrative.
That's awesome. I love hearing stories like that, man, because so many artists get taken advantage of, you know what I'm saying? Laffy Taffy and then other songs came out thereafter, and it started this whole era of the ringtone,
ringtone era.
You know what I'm saying? And you guys were probably at the genesis of that, right?
Yeah. We was definitely at the inception of the ringtone era.
So, you know, looking back, I mean, it was probably good for business, but at that time, it was a lot of flack that was thrown at you know, artists.
I mean, I think with anything new, you know, it always threatens the powers that be. You understand what I'm saying? So whether it's media, whether it's other artists or whatever, when you come in with that new, fresh sound, I got to revamp my whole program. I got to start all over. If I got 10 artists in the studio, y'all need to be doing this. Like, you know, because this is the new wave. Everybody's doing a dance. So can I get a Walk It Out? Can I get a This Going Down? Can I get a, you know, all of these songs come right after that because, you know, that's just the new trend, the new wave,
So how were you, you know, that's interesting. I forgot all of those other dances, man. I follow you on Instagram. You're pretty funny, man. No, not even pretty funny. I ain't gonna definitely.
Boy, stop.
Yeah,
you
boy,
ain't
stop.
Doing that.
You know, man, that dad go on one video with the chick in the ambulance. You said she what was she No, I was like, this guy a fool, man.
Yeah, man, that comes from, you know, having too much time on your hands in between stuff. I was actually, I was fortunate enough to represent Crystals, you know, after the coronavirus breakout. And everybody came off of quarantine, I was tapped to do, you know, Crystals, B's Crystals frontman to run a new campaign, which was for 2 chicken fried steaks or something, 2 chicken fried sandwiches or something like that, country fried chicken sandwiches or something like that.
Now we up north, Crystals
is like White Castles.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, but it's better. It's definitely better.
I traveled, I was traveling to, this was about a couple of years ago, and I was hungrier than a hostage, and I was like, and we pulled over and we seen this Crystals, like, yo, let's try this Crystals. And I was like,
did you get a sack full?
No, I was like, pause. Pause. But I was like, yo, this is like a damn White Castles. I was pissed because you know, you gotta mentally be ready for some White Castles. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta be a certain thing. But we were hungry, man. But I figured it out. I was like, Crystals is like White Castles down in the South, man.
Definitely.
But that's cool that you got tapped for that, man.
I had a chance to be tapped for that. And,
did I get a sack full?
They got like these 12 to 24 things or whatever. Like they huge after the club, you know.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man. But I was doing that, and while I'm doing that or whatever, it takes you away from the music and everything, you know. And because it's a new venture at this time, I'm doing movies. I had a chance to work with this little girl named Proctor, and I won the Las Vegas Film Festival for Best Duo in a film.
Oh, dope.
So at this time, I'm doing like film, and I think I worked with Zaytoven on the Finesse 2 soundtrack or whatever, and that's how we ended up doing the new project, which we'll probably get to later on.
Yeah, I want to talk about it.
During that time, or whatever, one of my kids showed me how to work the Instagram. Like, you gotta think, we kind of, you know, we older, like how to work the Instagram.
Right,
you know
right. How you do this?
And once I went live during quarantine, I kind of went on there and I stayed on there all day. Like, bro, I like to have fun, so I went to giving away money. I started a hood game show where you got some noodles in your house? If you got some noodles in your house, I know you need $25. You got Spam? You got some Viennas? And I'm asking people, go down the street. If the third house on your right is white, I'm going to give you $25 right now. He'll go down there and it's a brick house. I'm like, oh, get out my life. Hang up the phone and stuff like that. It was a fun game, and I gave away like $11,000. And so during that, I started coming up with all of these unique ways to keep the audience engaged, and that character came out. Boy, stop! You ain't doing that,
right.
You know. And once it came out, it was just like, yo, I love this, you know. And I started improvising.
And you know, that speaks to the era and the time that we live in right now, man. Just this device alone, man, can
change lives.
Change your life dramatically, man.
It was a trigger moment for me. Like, they can see me right now, everything that I'm doing. Come on, let me show you my house.
Right.
Like, you know, and you instantly go into that zone. Like, if you're somebody who loves to be seen, like you know, boy, come down here and do that dance for my company. You know, I've been, you know, doing it for my mama. So.
Yeah, your energy, man, is infectious, man. Is joyful. It's something that we need too, man, because so much negativity and stuff like that. You know, we were talking off camera before, and one of the homies was talking about how your music kind of helped them during a low point, man. Like, you know, do you go into the studio, or even when you're cutting on your phone with social media, like, are your intentions to help people in that maybe in a dark space temporarily? You know what I'm saying? Because mental health is a big topic right now.
Mental health is a big issue for us black men in our communities, and me myself, I'm privy to the same thing that, you know, everybody else went through. And it's like, we don't like to talk about our problems. We don't like to go, and me myself, I didn't have any uncles. My daddy wasn't there. You feel what I'm saying? I'm the oldest on all sides, so no big brother, nobody to tell you to stop. You know what I mean? And so a lot of these things just come from, you know, being in that situation. So you want to smile, you want to laugh, because, you know, it's a lot of pain going on behind you. You know what I mean? And with all the stuff that you're doing, you know, you can't talk to nobody, you can't do that. So me, myself, I learned to laugh with my pain. You know what I mean? You know, and my day could be the same as the next guy. You know, I had a child at 16. You know, I went to prison at 17, did 2 years. You know what I mean? I literally lived that same life, but while I'm sitting in there and I'm pushing that broom down the hallway or whatever, I'm telling myself, I don't want to come back here ever again. You know what I mean? And so when I got out, I let my joy be my pain. You know, I beat it out. You know.
Do people hit you up on Instagram, you know, in your DM saying, yo, you're helping me through?
That's like a lot of my Instagrams, bro. I want to call like somebody on the phone right now, you know, just to let you hear a conversation out loud and let you see somebody who was in a dark place when I first met them, and you didn't know this person had this much joy. Now, every time I call his phone, it's like, FABO! I can't believe you, big homie, you just called me again. You know, and it was just some guy that asked me for a feature one day, and like, he's one of my closest friends now. So, and it's the same thing with my homie from here in Ohio. I met him about a year ago. We did the song "I'm Just Being Me" that's pumping up here real hard or whatever. And since that day, I came up here and shot the video in the snow, and he been my friend. We talked every day since. Like, you know, just a lot of energy, bro.
That's
just
dope,
good
man.
Energy.
Let's talk about some of your music, man.
Yeah.
Of course, you recorded with some heavyweights. Of course, you guys made a huge impact on the industry with your hits. You recorded with Jeezy, but I heard a new record actually earlier today with Zaytoven.
Yeah.
Talk about that partnership.
Oh, wow. That goes back to the Crystals situation. I was working with somebody on my team who's rolling. He's a part of Zaytoven's camp too, and I was actually working with one of the producers that signed to him, and we did like maybe 5 records in 2 days or whatever, because I hadn't been in the studio in a while. It's quarantine, and once we came out, I did like 5 records with this guy. Zaytoven get one of these records and was like, "Yo, this record is hot." send me this track, send me this beat. It was like, okay, it's just, you know, it's random track and beat at the time or whatever. You know, it was hot, you know, at the time. But when Zay got it, it was like, you get all the organs and you getting the thing. Then like Zay told.
So this
like,
is a track that you produced?
Like, no,
and then he added to it?
I'm working with Rosart at the time, Rosart. And it's crazy, Rosart and Zaytoven. That's dope. You know, those are the two people that produced that record.
Like Mozart and Beethoven.
Rosart and Zaytoven.
Right.
Yeah, but that he got the record and sent it back. It was incredible.
Wow.
Like he turned it into like a whole nother record. Like he brought life to it. It was dope. And yeah, that's how that happened.
I could see you doing television, man. Yeah. Are you tapped into Hollywood?
Yeah,
Even though Atlanta is like Black Hollywood right now, do you really have to go to LA, or are there any opportunities?
I think you can make it in Atlanta. I think you can make it in Atlanta. You know, I had a chance to do Wild and Out recently, and I did the 85 South show. You know, you can check me out on that. And that's like one of the first interviews that I did, because a lot of people don't know what I look like. They like, oh, he got them shades, and you know. So I did the 85 South show and other stuff to just show people, like, you know.
And what was their response? I'm sure you're real popular now. People noticing you from that.
It's dope, bro. Like with the new records, with the, you know, I got so much stuff going on, bro. Like
talk about it, man.
You can like, I think maybe like 2 months ago. 2 Chainz hit me up. He was like, yo, I get this record, and, you know, I want you to check it out, blah, 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 and I need you for the video. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. You know, everybody always trying to show me some love. That's cool. I love 2 Chainz. Get to hit me back. Like,
you thought it was just, he was like, just talking?
We need you down here on this day. Here's the script. And I'm like, wow, he's serious. Like, you know, because he was one of the first artists to embrace me when I came back. Like, you know, I'm standing in front of the club one night. He's like, yo, let FABO in. Don't let none of my people in. Like, let all this people in. I'm like, yo, this
showing love.
This is serious. And we did The Neighbors Know My Name. So if you go look up the video right now, I think it's got 1 million views. We did that a couple of months ago. So you can see me do a whole infomercial in the front of his video, you know, where I'm teaching people to dance. So I thought that was dope. I also tapped in with Tiger a couple of months ago, and we did Miss Bubblegum. I think it's got like 8 million views up there too. Damn. So, you know, I'm basically, you'll see me everywhere, but I'm kind of like this character. Like if you see me in the Tiger video, you wouldn't know it's me per se, because you're looking for the old FABO with the glasses and stuff. But
and the hat with the flipped up.
In his video, I'm the butler, I'm the preacher, I'm the, you know, I'm the best friend.
I'm gonna have to go back and check that out. I missed that.
Yeah. So I've been doing my thing, man.
That's dope, man. Yeah. Yo, so like, in addition to the television, you know, opportunities, the features and stuff like that, are you looking to come out with a new project, or are you just going to be featured?
It's always the music. Always the music. You know, everything that I do is to feed the music. You know what I mean? But you can't put all your eggs in one basket. You know, I'm full of life. You know, I got
comedy. What are comedy features, man?
I didn't even know that I was funny, bro, like that. Like, I just be talking like stuff that's like the other day. I seen.
I've seen you do interviews talking about you an alien from another planet.
Yeah,
man.
I mean,
you're funny.
I'm from the year 5078. You know, I came back in 1978. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm from the year 5078. And you know, I try to tell people or whatever, you know, that it's the conscious mind could be here in this body. You feel what I'm saying? But maybe I'm living somewhere else too, and I'm just tripping. You know. But yeah, man. But it's definitely.
I'll take
fun.
Mushrooms with that pizza.
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. No drugs allowed. No, I mean, yeah, man, I got some crazy songs, but definitely, man, you know, it's all in the past.
You know, real quick, man, I was just thinking when we were talking about aliens, I've heard you mention, you know, in a previous interview.
I'm starting to see spaceships on Bankhead.
Outkast's impact, man.
Yeah.
Like, talk about Outkast's impact on Atlanta, you being from Georgia, you know what I'm saying? What kind of impact did they have and influence?
Outkast, like, bro, this was my whole being, my whole life. Outkast, Goody Mob, you know, and I'll even go so far as to just say the whole Dungeon family with Cool Breeze and Slim Calhoun. And this is my era. Like, you guys think I'm in high school. Right. Like, boom, like these cats like running the world at the time. And yeah, man, big influence. I wanted to imitate everything that Andre was doing. I wanted to spit like Big Boy. You know, I wanted to wear my hair like Gip. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, like it was everything to me, bro. Like, without the Young Bloods, I wouldn't have had a cassette tape to start my career, because I started off going up to the club and I would put this doop,
do. That's how we do it when we do it. Shawty, you and the Hennessy got me feeling like you. But I would just take the beat. Do. What's up? What y'all want to do? And I come in there, I just start rapping. That was the first track I was rapping off of.
Really?
Like this, the total Atlanta influence with me.
Man.
You know, Kilo Ali, Raheem the Dream. Kilo Ali is like a real big influence on me too, because everybody talk about these artists from other places. And I knew Ice Cube, I knew Jay-Z, I listened to Tupac, I listened to all of these people. But like the industry is now, where everybody little nephew or everybody little cousin rap, it wasn't like that back then.
Right.
Kilo was in Boyne Homes. He was that star already. Do you hear what I hear? That boom, that boom. Or he had songs for the grown-ups back then, like, there's a white girl in town. Her name is... That stuff was like huge in the hood.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And these were my heroes. Like, that was 69 Boys, Raheem the Dream, Kizzy Rock. Like, these guys were my heroes. Like, I knew the big guys.
Right.
But they were these... It's like this dude stay up the street.
Right,
You see what I'm saying?
right.
I can do it if he doing it, you know? So they was a big influence on me, bro. Like, the whole Atlanta music scene.
Now, Atlanta has been running the industry for at least 10 years.
And we gonna keep on doing it.
So talk about Atlanta's influence on the industry, you know what I'm saying?
Heavy influence.
Right now.
Heavy influence. I mean, Lil Baby, Gunna, Thug, like he just go on and on,
Future.
bro. Like Future for definite, man. You know, like these cats, like they transcending what we thought music could be. You know, it's like going to another level. Their voices are musical instruments. Like it's definitely in a whole different place right now. And then I just see the rest of, you know, the industry following suit. So like everything is being influenced by Atlanta, period.
Right.
So even cats from New York, I would never expect for them to be, but I'm listening to the same thing coming out of New York
Putting the
that
melody
I'm hearing
in
coming
it.
out of Atlanta, the melodies. And I'm like, wow, I never thought I'd see that, because they're so focused on trying to dominate with that style. And so that lets you know how much influence Atlanta has.
Man, so, all right, man, I'm not going to hold you too long, man. I could talk to you for hours, man. You got great energy, man. What can we look for from FABO in the near future, man?
Right now, bro, I'm working on the Seafood project. Jetpack is the first song off of that project. I also have a song called Again. That's a crazy Script Club song. You gotta go check it out. It's called Do That Again.
Okay.
Or whatever. But I named it Again. And I got a video on YouTube right now. It's wild.
Okay.
You know. And the Jetpack video is wild too. I don't know if you've seen that.
No.
It's crazy. I take a spaceship and I just go through space with a bunch of girls, and you can imagine what happens from there. But yeah, I'm working on the Seafood project right now. I'm working on a movie right now with the squad. And we're gonna try to get these projects out before the end of the summer.
You're writing and producing the movie,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I wrote the whole movie with a couple of friends of mine, and yeah, we're working on. I'm gonna executive produce this project, and it's gonna be dope.
Can you touch on what it's about, or is it too early?
Nah, in this industry right here nowadays or whatever, bro, you kind of want to keep all your ideas to yourself.
I understand. Well, listen,
yeah, it's
man,
gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope.
Whenever you come to Ohio, man, please hit us up, man, and so we could chop it up again. It's always a pleasure, my man. FABO.
You already know.
Sean Anthony Live.